Hello, it's really good to be here with you guys. I wanted to talk about hatred. I think as our DNA begins to and continues to activate more, so many of the more dormant energies in our body that we've probably tried to run from, that we felt shame about, these emotions and energies that we were discouraged from feeling as children, as young adults. These feelings are going to start to come up to the surface. It's kind of like to be our true sovereign self, to really be a human being, to have the full experience of being a human being. These energies must come back into our experience. Because, they can't just stay suppressed forever. If we want to be fully awakened and embodied in this human form, these energies, these latent energies of hatred and rage and whatever, depression, grief, these darker, heavier energies, I'm finding that life is going to be creating the perfect circumstances, like I've spoken about before, to allow them to come up. Because the thing is, we have enough consciousness now to meet these energies and to let them be. My friend was telling me something about how Matt Kahn says with the energies of hatred, for example, to just respect them. These energies, they just want respect and to not be made to feel that they should be different. It's like that respect and the acceptance of you're just fine how you are. Energy and emotion of hatred and rage. And you might start having, as these energies arise, you might start having memories of when you were very disempowered. And you'll notice it, in the moments you were disempowered as a child, those were the moments you felt intense amounts of that energy of hatred, of rage, of anger. But you were probably remonstrated, to use an English lit term, you were probably punished for any expression of those energies. Because you knew you were being disempowered in the moment. You knew what was happening was wrong, but we were children and there was nothing we could actually do about it. So we had to bury those emotions down for our own safety. That was an intelligent thing to do to keep us alive. And a lot of times we keep staying with that program of keeping them down, suppressing them, running from them. Life has tried over and over in our lives to help us to meet them, to release them, but we've kept pushing them down because that's what we learned to do. Because if we let them come up, we won't be loved, we'll be cast away, we'll be shunned, we'll be out of the tribe. We're just on that program. And so we go through life disempowered, never trusting ourselves, living meek, smaller lives than we're capable of. A lot of us are empaths, are people pleasers. Anytime you're feeling powerless or disconnected from your power, or you have these people-pleasing tendencies, it's just a sign that these energies of hatred, these darker energies, just haven't been integrated fully yet. And so what life is doing for us, life is doing the favor for us. It's helping to bring these to the surface again, because anyone watching this, you have the consciousness now. You wouldn't still be watching this video if you didn't have the consciousness to integrate these emotions that have been suppressed and buried. Because your soul, it's tired of going through life feeling powerless, feeling at the mercy of others, feeling like a victim. It's tired of it. So your higher self, your soul, the divine is creating circumstances, situations, bringing the right people into your life, the right job, etc., to bring up this rage, the anger, the hatred, so that these energies can integrate and you can become like you're letting them be embodied as you come up and you see them and you meet them, and you just respect them. You don't try to change them. I had a client tell me today that he was feeling, he's like, I don't get it, sitting here and being with these energies. I don't get how this is supposed to make me feel better. It just feels wrong to sit here and to feel this stuff. And I told him, it's like, we're not sitting with this to feel better. We're not meeting hatred and rage and weakness and insecurity and lack to feel better. We're meeting these feelings because we love the one who's feeling hatred. We love the inner child who hated those, who had that emotion of hatred towards those who disempowered him. We're letting the one, we love the one who feels weak within us. We're not just feeling those energies to fix them, to transmute them. It's deeper than that. It's truly an act of unconditional love. That's why. That's it. Just because you're an unconditionally loving being. That's why we meet these. And of course, as we meet them, they integrate. And so just know that if you're feeling, if life's triggering up the energy of hatred, it's time for a new perspective, a new approach. It's time to let go of the shame about feeling what you're feeling. It's not wrong to feel hatred in your body. It's not wrong to feel rage. It's okay. You have enough consciousness now to allow these energies to come up. And I know for me, hatred is one that I have run from. And like I've talked about in the previous videos, life has created a similar circumstance that I'm in right now. And I would usually just try to flee it, or I would flee it. But I've just noticed like my higher self's intelligence and my soul's intelligence not really letting me do that this time. And I've been so willing to just sit here with the hatred and to not make it wrong, and to know that it's just going to follow me wherever I go, because this has been in my body for so long. I've had so much suppressed hatred and rage in my life because I've been so disempowered. And that's the thing, when the hatred and the rage starts coming up, you start to realize how disempowered you've actually been. And it will astonish you. You will realize, oh, I was disempowered every single day of my life. And a lot of these memories, suppressed memories of the abuse that disempowered you, psychological, emotional, maybe physical for you, they'll start arising. And it's a chance for you to really start integrating all these parts of yourself. And it's like you'll just find yourself sitting in this stew of darkness, of hate, of rage, and you'll have all these memories coming up. But you'll feel like a greater consciousness here that's supervising it all for you. You'll feel it unfolding with divine perfection. Under your circumstances, you'll see the intelligence in life and how it's being a catalyst to provoke these feelings up so that you can work through them and integrate them, so you don't have to go through life in a powerless way anymore. So that you can go through life as your sovereign, authentic self without having to compromise. I've noticed that ever since I left Tennessee, it's just been like this odyssey into my feelings of hatred and these deep, deep, dark parts of me. It's literally felt like a long ayahuasca trip. I'm sure a lot of you saw the video I had with Cesare. I was deep into those parts there, and I've still been working through them a lot. But it's felt so enriching on a soul level. I feel like I've really deepened into myself. And it's so fascinating how at first I was saying, oh, it's because I'm with my twin flame. Or no, at first it was because, my car imploded and I was somewhere where I didn't really have access to good food. And that's why I was just hating life. And then I was spending all this time with my twin flame. And now it's here because I'm in this place in Vegas that I don't prefer. And so it's interesting how my mind was trying to make it because of an external circumstance each time. But I'm realizing, no, it's actually just an inward, it's actually just all internal. The circumstances don't have anything to do with this in a sense. Like if it wasn't this, it'd be something else. If it wasn't that, it'd be that. It's just like, it's because it's in my body. That's why it's being brought up. I'm sure the relationship with the twin flame, the circumstances, they're like intelligently crafted. And even if I were to try to get out of it, just another circumstance that would bring up these feelings would manifest. Because this is what I ask the Divine Mother for every day, is I ask to be a servant for her grace, to be a conduit for her love and her peace, really to be a divine instrument, just to be of service to her. And to do that, to be a good divine instrument, to be a good conduit, we have to be empty. So what she's doing is she's emptying us out. She's bringing up these heavier, trapped energies. She's bringing them into the light for us to see. And that can be really painful. It can be something we want to run from. It can bring up shame. I know I've felt so much shame lately for having these energies come up, just for being me. Like all that shame I've felt. Sometimes we're made to feel ashamed for being angry, for having these emotions, for just being who we are. I know I've had the thought many times, I better just go delete all my YouTube videos and stuff because I'm no good. I've had those kind of thoughts come up because that kind of visceral shame is making its way up and out of my body. But this is just a sign that more of our DNA is activating. We're becoming more of our true self. You could say more of our grid is like becoming unlocked, because it's a thing, like this reality, it becomes more fun to play in when you're more powerful. So when you have these darker suppressed energies coming up, it's a sign that your grid's starting to unlock, like these energies are thawing and moving. That's good. This is good. So can you, in a way, bask in the stew of hatred or darkness or depression or rage or whatever is coming up in your field, and see that things are activating, things are finally moving, suppressed energies and emotions and traumas are making their way up. Because you have the consciousness now to see it all, to respect it all, to honor it all, just as it is, without trying to do anything about it. Yeah, I was wanting to talk about, I'm like so hesitant to talk about it. I don't know if it's probably because I can't. If you find yourself pulled to darker things right now when you're going through darkness, that's okay. It's like sometimes we want to see in the external what's going on inside. I don't ever watch dark television or dark movies, nothing. But recently I've really found that my consciousness, the presence, the higher self, has kind of pulled me in front of it. It's like almost an acknowledgement of the stuff that I don't like to see in myself. I've been watching it on a screen here and there lately. Not like binge watching it or anything, but just very consciously watching it. And I notice I have such a difficulty seeing it out here a lot because I don't see that gnarly stuff in here very well sometimes. Those feelings of deep, dark hatred. That there's a murderer in here. There's intense darkness in all of us. It's in the collective. If it's in one person, it's in everybody, right? And so it's been fascinating how much more comfortable I'm becoming about seeing all of these parts of myself. Because until we can see them, they don't integrate and they remain unconscious, and then they still control us. That's the thing about the shadow. It's the shadow governs our life until we see it. So as I'm starting to get more comfortable to see these energies that have been suppressed and buried in me, they no longer have as much authority in my life. And I'm able to make decisions more from my truest place. Which is kind of scary sometimes, because when you really do make decisions from your truest place, it's a really fearless place to make decisions from. Because you don't have those programs going on of lack and scarcity and self-hatred. It's like you're making decisions from a place of love and wisdom. And it's a whole different way to move through life. So no, as these darker energies come up, it's like wisdom, power, sovereignty, fearlessness. This is what you're stepping into. This channel is all about embodying energies. This is not an intellectual movement. This is a non-dual embodiment of all that you are. This isn't good and bad, right and wrong. God is in all things, or he's in nothing, right? So, may you honor and respect the darkness in you. May this video release you from any shame and judgment for the darkness that is arising within you. And may you know yourself more fully through the integration of difficult feelings. May you know your true power. As a sovereign being here on earth. So much love. I feel like there's a lot more. I feel like I just keep talking and talking about this, but I think this has been long enough. Yeah, nothing's going wrong when you're feeling these feelings. This is perfect. Keep walking through the sludge, the darkness, the heaviness. Keep feeling through it. Keep honoring it. And you will start feeling yourself transformed. You know, I was telling my friend, I don't even recognize who I was when I was in Tennessee, and that was only 6 weeks ago or something. And I think a lot of us might be having that experience right now of how fast life is moving, how quickly we're digesting through the layers, how much all of these memories of disempowerment are surfacing and flooding our consciousness as all the suppressed energies make their way up to be embodied. And so, yeah, keep walking forward, sending you guys so much support. And thank you for the support. Thank you for the donations, for booking the sessions, for joining the Patreon page, just for watching, just for being here, a part of this channel. It really means a lot to me, and I love you all so much. Namaste.